Right now, we're going to go live very close to the epicenter of the quake, where home reporter Mark Summers is standing by. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Sarah.
Mark,
I'm about a mile or two from the epicenter.
Mark?
And if you take... Yes, Sarah?
I just wanted to ask, how are you doing? I know you're standing next to a house that was virtually devastated, but our concern goes to you, too.
And the family?
Family's doing well. My wife is a rock, and she's keeping it all together. I don't fare so well in these situations, and my son is doing great. My daughter is more like me. So we sat on the stairway last night and kind of hugged each other, and it's a very emotional time. This chimney over here obviously didn't do so well, and this whole house, as we walk through it, you will see, had tons of destruction. Up where I live, not far from the center, I live about 10 miles west. It shook a lot, and we have some superficial damage, but as I look at the cracks in the house over here, it starts to ring home as to some of the suffering that these people have gone through, not only in this house, but throughout neighborhoods all in the San Fernando Valley. And Ellie Reese and her daughter Monique are inside, and we're going to say hi to them. How are you, Monique?
Hi. Okay.
Good. We were up in your bedroom earlier, and it is a miracle that you got out of there. Tell us about the experience.
I was just woken up, and I have waterbed, so it was sloshing very much, and I just felt something come down over my head. I covered my head, and I just felt like my dad pulled me out from underneath and just throw me over his shoulder. I had no idea what was going on in my room.
And your mom seemed to be a woman of iron as well. Women seem to handle this better, Sarah. I don't know why that is. Tell us about your experience.
Well, it was dark, thank goodness, so we couldn't see everything that was probably flying all around us, because the big TV was right by my head practically, and the whole bed just shook like terrible.
Let's walk on through the house. You will see up in the ceiling there are tremendous cracks over here. If you take a look at the walls, obviously some tremendous damage on that side as well. The kitchen, things fell constantly, and they cleaned up the best they could, but it's sort of a useless situation. As I show you the bathroom, you know, one of the good things is that 4:30 in the morning was a good time to have this, because if somebody was in here taking a shower...
Mark, we've lost video. Oh, there we go. You're back
now. We've lost our picture.
Yeah, now we're back.
You're back.
You got picture back?
Yeah.
Okay. If we could take a look in the bathroom inside here. Mirrors falling off the wall, the whole shower door is ripped off. Take a look at that floor. It's frightening. We're going to walk underneath the staircase now. I wish, take a look in this room if you would. I certainly wish that we could go upstairs. The cable won't take us up there. You would not believe. Take that room and multiply it by 10. Take a look over there over the fireplace, how the cracks in the walls have just pretty much devastated this room. There's some broken glass, and the upstairs is a total mess. Can you get a shot of that, Pierce, if you could? Bookcases and things that have fallen down. We're going to go next door now, and the amazing thing about this whole experience is the fact that here is this house sitting here up in Chatsworth, about a mile or two northwest of the epicenter, and this house is devastated. Now, as you walk over to the next house, you will find out that there is virtually no damage whatsoever. In my neighborhood, it was a similar thing. I have a lot of cracks along my walls and along my ceilings, and some homes up above us, nothing fell off the shelves. And you got to ask yourself, why is that? And as I was driving over here this morning on the streets that were very dark because there was no electricity, you would see cinder block walls totally fallen over. I went by a park, and there must have been thousands of people sleeping in their cars, on top of their cars, and camped out. And that's when you start to say, my goodness, we're going to be living like this for quite some time. And it's a frightening thing. And they say this was only a moderate quake. So imagine what would happen if, God forbid, the 8.2, the 8.3 comes around, and sooner or later that will.
Mark,
we're going to go to Frank and Ann Macias' house. And do we have to take a break here? Keep going? Yes. Okay, we'll keep going in here. And if you notice inside this house, with the exception of some cracks up here on the ceiling, Frank and Ann Macias, you have no damage, have you?
Not very much. We had a lot of things fall out of cupboards, a lot of glassware break and things such as that. But a little bit of cleanup, but otherwise bedrooms are askew. Everything else is fine, though. We're real safe and sound.
Thank God. We're going to come back here and we'll take a little bit more look at this house and talk to a structural expert as well.
That's right. And when we do come back, a hero who saved 10 lives from a collapsed building. We'll be right back.